Necesitamos los libros viejos perfectos.
Hoy hemos estado en todo el liceo.
All right. Good afternoon. This is the second video, which it's about mean, mode, and median. Okay. So this is something that is going to appear on the exam. It's a topic that you need to study at home, and which I'm going to explain in two exercises because it has particular cases that you have to take into account when you having the final exam, or as a parent when you start helping your daughter or son in terms of studying for the final exam. Alright? So the first things that we need to take into account is three important words that I need you to define clearly, because once you get to define those words, you're going to be able to understand how to apply it into an exercise. Alright? So, as the first word, mean, addition of the data, yes, divided numbers of the digits of the data. In here, it's quite important to understand that data is the information that is given in numbers, right? So that's something that we must take into account. And that's going to be divided by the numbers of digits of the data. So that's something that I'm going to explain as we continue with the two exercises that I'm going to show in the following time. The mode. It is the number that is repeated more often in the data. Alright? So if we find a number that repeats more often than the other numbers, that's going to be the mode. I think this is quite, mode is the easiest aspect to find in this type of exercises, because all you have to do is to observe which number repeats the most. Alright? And finally we have median. It is the middle number of the ordered data. Alright? Median seems to be easy because all you have to do is to pick the number in the middle, but there are particular cases, and that's what I'm going to explain, two exercises, right? Because the median might change according to the data. Alright? So take your time to write. Alright? So if you need to take notes, all you have to do is to pause. Alright? Anyways, I'm going to erase this here. Alright? And here I am going to explain two exercises in terms of the mode, median, and mean. Right? So I'm going to give you a first exercise. The first one, they give us a data that says bowling scores. Bowling scores. Alright? So let's see what is the exercise about. So 85, 106, 106, 74, and 95. Alright? So you have here bowling scores 85, 106, 106, 74, 95 as well. So they ask find mean, mode, and median. Alright? Alright. So as the student knows, these numbers 85, 106, 106, 74, and 95, we call this data. Data. This is what we call data, because this number represents the information in numbers, or as you want to call it, data. Remember that we can pronounce data as data or data as well. Okay, so if you pronounce it as data or data, it's valid. Alright? So let's see, you have to find the mean, mode, and median. what is the first step that I have to do here? So as the first step, I have to organize that data from the lowest number to the greatest number. So let's see. Let's analyze the data that we have up here. So we are going to organize first. So let's organize. 85. So the data is equals to 85. Remember that that's the first step. We cannot forget this. Every time that we're going to find the mean, median, mode, or whatever, we need to organize the data first. So we're going to start 85. Oh no, I make a mistake here. I'm sorry. We have to find the lowest number. So the lowest number is 74. Yes, 74. The next number is 85. Then 95. And finally 106 and 106. Alright? So here is the same Boolean scores of the data organized from the lowest here to the greatest. Alright? So that's the first thing that we have to take into account. Okay. Remember that in the explanation, the mean is equals to addition of data divided numbers of digits of the data. Okay? So we're talking about addition, alright? So let's continue. So taking that information into account, we're going to see what is the addition of the data that we're talking about. So here, we're going to take this data, which is already organized, and we're going to add it. We're going to make an addition here. Remember, addition of the data. So, 74 plus 85 plus 95 plus 106 plus 106 divided by the number of digits of the data. So let's see how many digits do we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright? You see? Mean it's equals to the addition of the data of these numbers divided by the numbers of digits of the data. Remember that the digits are this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? Alright. So I'm going to start doing the operations. So take that note, take those notes please. I'm going to start erasing this quickly. Alright. So the following step here is to make the corresponding operation. Right? So let's see. So let's see. Mean it's equals to. If we make the addition of this 74 plus 85 plus 95 plus 106 and plus 106, our answer is going to be 466. Alright? Alright? 466. Alright? Divided by the number of digits that you see here. Okay? Divided by the number of digits that you see here. Okay? So I'm going to erase this. Alright? And let's make the operation. I'm going to explain the operation in using the Colombian division and the American division as well. So I'm going to explain it as the American division first. So we have 5 divided by 466, correct? So the first thing that we have to take into account is that 4 on 5, it cannot be divided. So in that case, we have to take into account the second digits, which is 6. That means that we are going to divide 46 over 5 as well. We need to guess how many 5s fit in 46, right? That's kind of an easy question because all we have to do is to guess how many 5s can I fit on 46. So if we notice, we can actually put 9 5s, right? Because 9 times 5 is equals to 45. So this is closest to 46, all right? So that's equals to 9. Then what we do in this American version of the division is to multiply this by this. 9 times 5 is equals 46. I mean 45. Yes? So what we do here is to subtract 46 from 45. So that's equals to 1. Okay? In that case, we just put the 6 down. Right? And we have 16. We still can divide. So what we're going to do is try to divide 16 over 5. So we're going to now ask how many 5s I can fit in 16. That's even easier because if we know, yes, we can fit 3 5s. Why? Because 3 times 5 is equals 15. And 15 is closest to 16. So you write 93 here. Then we multiply this by this. 3 times 5 is equals to 15. Yes. And this is equals to 1. Alright? So the answer is of the mean is 93 remainder 1. 93 remainder 1. Alright? So this is the American version of the division, right? I'm also going to make the Colombian version so you can understand how to do these operations, and that's especially for parents who don't know how to use the system of division, which is basically used in US and also in Britain as well. So as you see, I already found the mean, which is 93 remainder 1. I'm going to do it on the other way. Okay? I'm going to explain the division in a Colombian version, alright? So this is 66 divided by 5. So we take this 2 because we cannot divide 4 over